How about that? How about that? How about that? Everything we talk about, ill intent, violence, physicality, execution, the will to win.
On the train.
Just win, baby.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, everybody? Ralf in the building, and welcome to another episode of Straight Outta Nation. 100% Raiders, no Chargers, no Chiefs, no Broncos, just Raiders, baby. And right now, we have an amazing episode because we're getting closer to the preseason of the Raiders, which is coming to August. And then in September is going to be the regular season, all Black Sunday, all day, every day, because when the Raiders go to the field, it's something brave, it's something aggressive. And right now we have some special guests right now, so you might know as the podcast Raiders War Order, because not only they just embrace, they're talking about for the Raiders, but also they're very passionate. They love the wrestling. So ladies and gentlemen, I will give you like a round of applause for two amazing gentlemen. So first of all, give it a round of applause with ONT6 Soldier and Afakasi Raider for the Raiders War Order. So salute to everybody else. Welcome to Raiders. Welcome to Straight Outta Nation. So how you feel about it? Because you're really excited for the preseason and of course after the training camp. So how you guys feeling?
On, you want to go first?
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, Rafa. What's up, How you doing today, brother? More than anything, I'm just excited for camp. Football's almost back. The first preseason game's tomorrow. But at the end of the day, I just want everybody to be healthy going into the first game of the season. You know what I mean? Knock on wood if you're with me. But everything I heard out of camp so far is so good. But they just hope everybody can stay healthy.
Agreed. I'm excited and thankful that your sound is working today. It's not getting working out live a couple of days ago. I see
know.
Darks in the if you know, you know. But yeah, I mean, I've been hearing some stories from training camp. Like I've heard, like the defense is doing well. Like the offense still seems to be struggling. The wide receiver depth is a bit of a concern. I hear even Trey Tucker's having a case of the dropsies. The quarterback competition still is what it is.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to wait till preseason until somebody emerges and as the unequivocal starter and see if he can be a good starter moving into the season. So yeah, a lot of questions, but a lot to be happy about.
Yep, exactly. And of course, we got a first topic right now. So remember, hit the like button, subscribe to Capitán Rafucho, and of course, hit the like button. Also ring the bell for notifications. So right now, let's just see for the first topic right now. It is the training camp, Antonio Pierce chemistry. So a lot of things we now know about it because right now it comes to very close because right now we're in the training camp, but also we're in the mood of the preseason right now. So I know because there are some players, and of course the coach chemistry has been along how we go for the new Raiders defense, along with Nate Hobb, Jack Jones. I mean, but if it comes to the first day, because they're playing like at a lot of old school over the systems, because at that point they're gonna play like Jack Jones and Nick Hobbs just doing like everything else about with this defense. But I mean that there's no coincidence that the energy arrived when it comes to Jack Jones and Nate Hobbs because these are one of those reasons that it called for the chemistry about for the team before the preseason, before the regular season. I mean, it became like one of those first moves as a head coach, but they feel like there are a lot of things in common. I mean, probably is gonna be that guy because you can tell like how it goes for the grain for a little bit. He just like a dog. You can't even cut it out because he will go like at a toe for toe with anybody. I mean, those guys had a lot of mentality that type because outside for the football, they have the kind of the same mentality, but they're following the mentality and the chemistry along with Malcolm Coons, Max Crosby, Adam Butler. I mean, they're talking about for the chemistry they have with the early loves of season, but it really show off at the field with the down for the stretch about for the last season. I mean, those chemistry like Crosby, Butler, Hobbs, Jones, they're just remain intact at the last season. If they're gonna look into the continue that momentum, they just have for the finish of the season as one of the league's best defense. Because forget about the all disaster when it comes to last season. Because this moment we just see like a lot of improvement. But during for the training camp and before the preseason, I mean those things are really changing about for the culture and the chemistry was undeniable. So right now, let's just start with Afakasi and then the ONT6 about for the chemistry, not only for the team but also for the coaches, the staff, and the players who made a great impact.
Well, it's definitely a better culture and a better mindset coming into the season. Like it seems like it's definitely a different attitude. You know, from when McDaniels is at the helm to when uh, Antonio Pierce is now in charge. But chemistry is something that like you're gonna have to wait and see when the season starts. I mean, everything looks good now, but like I'm not gonna sit here and say we've got good chemistry when we haven't played yet. You know what I mean? Like that's like we might have good off the field chemistry. We might all be vibing and everyone's all happy, and I'm happy about that. But like chemistry comes from watching them play, and we haven't watched them play yet. Outside of like what we saw from last season, like the sample size we saw last season was good. It might be a continuation of that, especially on the defensive side of the ball. The offense is still going to be a big question mark, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I agree with my brother Afakasi. Said it just should be interesting more than anything because going into the third year with the defense, Patrick Graham system, they're going to be way ahead of the offense when they're going to the first year in the system, especially to all new players. You got to learn the new offensive line scheme and everything. But at the end of the day, I'm not too worried about it right now. Like my boy Afakasi said, I'll worry about it after a couple of games this season. But for right now, I'm just hoping everybody stays healthy, and then we'll see what happens after that.
I mean, definitely. I mean, what I just saw for the training camp, I mean, the chemistry between for the secondary team, special teams, it became so, so really special because during for that time, because they're getting like more comfortable about from Taylor Mumford. I mean, they just had a late because they have a plan of the battle since the former 7th round pick that joined the 3 years ago. And they have the playing the strides as around for the defender during the time pads, which is on yesterday. An offensive line that just had a few wins to balance out the competition. Because what you see above for the team talented defensive line, it's very explosive. It's like one of those many battles on the strangers because they're gonna be very expected about for this summer. I mean, benefiting Mumford, Crosby, the team as a whole. I mean, enough credit to make us better. I mean, it's gonna make it doing this stuff, but also they had their experience is not flourishing. That team, which is the past. I mean, we know that Master Crosby has become one of the past rushers, but there's gonna be about for Mumford as the team prepares, because that's a really big challenge about for the defensive lineman has been raised so far and is already paying dividends. I mean, like I'll say that we about it.
Hey, Rafa, you keep cutting out, brother.
Yeah, man. I thought it was just me. Yeah, you're cutting out bad. I was trying to watch your screen, Aunt, see if you're still moving.
No, I thought it was mine shit too. I checked my Wi-Fi right now and everything. I was like, I'm good. I thought Duncan was hacking my stuff.
I think StreamYard's been bugging lately. Like, this is what happened to ONT6 the other night. Maybe your friends are hacking Rafa now.
I know, huh?
You good, Rafa?
Also, there's like a comment. Yep. Oh. All right, hold. Okay, so I know this tripping up now, but I just see like a lot of the comments right now that you can see.
Namas.
Saw for everything because I just saw for the comments right now. Yep.
Yeah, Rafa, you sounded like Kylo Ren
from
Star Wars, brother.
Yeah. I know there's something that I was. Oh, okay. I know there's. Oh, still going. Oh my God.
Yeah, still going, Raphael.
I mean,
you say like one or two words. You say a word or two and it cuts out. It freezes and you come back. Like,
yeah, you sound like Kylo Ren, brother.
Okay, gotcha. I know this is not gonna be like a virus right now, but all right, just hold.
I think StreamYard is bugging.
Okay, so I know because I know there's something that I couldn't get enough of this. Oh my goodness! I know this is something that I did particularly right now, but I know. All right, so hold it a minute. I know this is gonna be because I have a charger right now. Okay, so here we goes. All right, so right now I'm just getting started right now. Oh shit! All right, so hold on, and then I know they're still getting the microphone right now.
Let's be scrap. These all grades and then
Afakasi, we just lost avocado.
With the women and Mary the mother of and with
those. Okay, touch it up with but
let me make a very important point. Before it took place.
Hello, Rafa.
Okay. Okay. So I know that at it right now.
To Judea.
I was talking about like the defense.
Oh, I still do.
Now, when you look at that list of names, I know that Peter was different.
Rafa is still doing it, brother.
And John for sure.
It's worse now.
I'm sorry, guys.
Technical difficulties. Must be us. I don't think it's Rafa. It's us. I think it's our enemies.
I think it's our enemies.
Plot our demise.
Oh my
Bloody
God.
winkers. Bloody winkers.
Oh, hold on a minute. I just wanted to try to restart right now. Yeah, I know the StreamYard is getting very lagging right now, but I know this is something that I was like. All right, so I just wanted to tell you because I know there is echo right now. I know there's getting like an echo right now, but I know that seems like technical issues right now. But I know that seems that the internet is very tripping right now. But I understand it about it. I understand, but I just wanted to tell it about like a very thoughts about from Max Crosby. Tanya Mumford is gonna be like the chemistry about for the defense and how the secondary, the special teams is gonna very grow up to improve with like the defense. But I was very talking about it.
So what's the question, Rafa?
Uh-huh.
What are you asking us?
About for like Tyree Mumford, Max Crosby, about for the combination of the defensive line and how we're gonna improve about for those areas that really concern.
Okay. Well, word from camp, and I saw Thayer Mumford did a presser the other day. I believe it was him, and he was talking about how Max Crosby was helping him getting ready during the course of the preseason. And I mean, I'm happy to hear that. I mean, who better than to have iron sharpen iron than all world Max Crosby? You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get much better than him when it comes to, you know, if he can protect against Crosby, then he can protect against anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really pleased about the things I hear about Thayer Mumford. Although I did hear that he had to walk away during training camp, I think day 4. So I'm hoping that doesn't linger on into the season. I mean, we're already down Colt Miller and Jackson Powers Johnson as it stands. So the last thing we needed is another issue on the offensive line when it comes to our starters. But what was the other things you were talking about? The defensive line?
About for
Yeah.
Mumford, yes. About for Italian Murphy, about for like the areas, and I was talking about the like the offensive scheme of Luke Getz. About
You went all over the place on that one. All right, I'll start with defensive line then.
Okay.
Well, you know, there's no reason why we shouldn't be looking good. I mean, our starters are looking great. That other defensive tackle spot is open. I mean, you know, is Tyree Wilson going to continue to start, or is Adam Butler going to get that starting job, or John Jenkins? You know what I mean? But Jenkins has been out injured. I guess it's the depth that we're looking at. You know, who's going to be those depth guys? I mean, we've got a lot of draft picks invested in that interior, and there's been some good things been said about what's his name, Byron Young, our 3rd round draft pick investment last year. But I'm still waiting and seeing from all those guys. You know what I mean? Like, I've been very displeased so far with all of them, and I've already voiced my displeasure the last 2 years with every single one of our interior draft picks. And I just want one or two of these guys to make the roster and prove to be valuable depth pieces rather than they're just on draft pick scholarships. Because I'm getting sick of these guys lingering on our roster and they're not doing nada. You know, it's time to earn your keep. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep, I understand about it. But I really all right, so I really understand that why there should be like a very enough, because I know for the offensive scheme of Luke Getz, I mean, he's getting very involved because we just never have like a 2 tight ends, which is Micah Mayer and Brock Bowers. I mean, these are the freak athletes, but right, we're still about for the chemistry, about for the tight ends, and how Luke Getz is gonna be coming up for these 2 tight ends, wide receivers. I mean, it's not going to be completely out of control, but I really hope to expect that about for the offensive scheme is doing about for like durability, also for the talent. And I understand that why they should be like very improved, because right now it seems that it's not going to be really impossible to see how the defense is going to be at the top right now, because we had the toughest competition. I know this is going to be like very excited for the Raiders fans, but I would love to the defense can really shut this down, because all they can hear about for the media is say, "Oh, the Raiders defense is not going to make it." But we have seen like a more elite talent. I mean, that proves a lot, because if we see like an offensive scheme of Luke Getz getting involved with 2 tight ends, I mean, we're comfortable about that. Yep.
On, you want to shoot?
Yeah, I completely agree. This offense is going to be run through the tight ends and the running game. I This should be interesting more than anything to me how they're going to use the running back position, especially if we're pretty deep at the running back group. Even though some people say we don't, especially with the rookie. I can't even think the running back's name right now, but he's been looking pretty. Yeah, he's been looking really good in camp so far, especially on third down. So it just makes me think what's going to happen with our third down back from last season if we're going to keep him or not. So it should be interesting how this offense is going to look. But either way, I just expect it to still Devontae Adams still get his touches, but it should be interesting. But it just has me a little worried because the Bears offense didn't look good at all last season. So this year we're going to really look if it was a quarterback or if it's the system. So it should be interesting.
Yep.
In regards to the running back room, I mean, maybe I'm the rain cloud on this live, but I don't see it as being deep as of yet. I mean, none of our running back room has established themselves for a sustainable amount of time. I mean, we've got some guys have been there for a little while, like in the league with Amir Abdullah and Alexander Madison. Zamir White's going to get his chance to be the starter and see if he can show what he showed the end of last season. But he still needs to prove it, But I guess on the positive, this running back situation is, as much as they're largely unproven and quite young. I mean, remember we went into 2015, 2016 with the same with a similar scenario. 2016, we went into the season with I'm going to ask Rafa, you remember our three running backs in 2016?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Because if we wanted to be an additive and talent for the new offense, I mean, speaking about for Samir White, I hope they're going to be to show a lot of potential. Probably they're going to show a lot of potential because I know with experiment something like technical issues, but they should be really expected about for the running back because right now, after Josh Jacobs is very gone, but I think that Samir White could be very improved because this is gonna be a lot of opportunity. Because if you see at all the career for Samir White, he also had a lot of flashes. But take a look at the very rest because he was training so hard and so bold. I mean, that you could have a lot of reps to get in a really intention how the running back because there's one of those positions that I really care about it. But if they need a more versatility, they have more speed and the vision that we just got it. I mean, there's nothing about for the problem. There's nothing about the problem. I mean, the situation between for the running back, I mean, it's gonna be around and expected. But I will tell you because I think that the pulling off the trigger, because that's a big leap about the fate.
Wasn't what I asked you, Rafa, but anyways.
Yeah.
So what about this wide receiver room? How are you feeling about that, Ralph?
Oh, about for the wide receiver. I mean, that's a lot of great things that have to go for right now. I mean, between for the wide receiver unit, there's a lot of incremental power. Because if you saw Devontae Adams, he's the man, he's the dog, but in some points they don't want it to be traded right now. If he wants to really to step up to the game, make it very aggressive because I know that I just been traded for Green Bay Packers to Las Vegas Raiders from 2022. I think we have a lot of faith to go to see right now for Devontae Adams. I mean, he got a very intense. I mean, he just broke an immense records, but that's one of those things that Devontae Adams became the glue for the defense, along with Matt Crosby, along for the quarterbacks, which is Aiden O'Connor. I mean, there's nothing to making care about it. There's nothing to scare off.
What do you feel? And I use the word feel.
What about our depth? How are you feeling about our depth?
Oh, this is gonna be a really solid right now. But I will tell you for this one. I will tell you because right now for the depth, for the special teams, and about for the defense, I mean, there is a lot of improvement because it's been a long time we just see a lot of improvement. I mean, since we just lost to the Super Bowl in 2003, I think this is gonna be the year for the redemption. And what I just see about for the depth, the unit which you saw for the special teams, along with the linebacker, defensive tackle, safety. I mean, we have a great talent, and there's nothing to waste them. nothing to waste him because what I just see around for the training camp, it's all about being aggressive, being powerful. I mean, when you see look at those special teams wearing out for the reps, and of course they're doing for like the best catch. I mean, there's nothing to ground to see for the chemistry they just have between for the coach and the staff. I mean, I believe in the process.
If you ask me, I'm worried about the depth in our wide receiver room after Adams or Jacoby. I don't know who's going to be. Say, God forbid, one of them goes down. I mean, who's going to be step in there? You know what I mean? Besides Trey Tucker, he's really a slot receiver. So who
Oh
could be
yeah,
another outside receiver? You know what I mean? That's the only thing I'm worried about, especially after Michael Gallup retired. It just seemed like he came here, just got the signing bonus, and just bounced out. So so much for that. Shortest rated career ever. I swear he didn't even see the field. But at the end of the day, I would like him to go sign another veteran wide receiver that has experience playing on the outside, just to have some more depth back there. Because you can never have enough depth, especially now with they added another game in the season. So at the end of the day, that's one position I am worried about. Hopefully, during camp, another team releases some veteran that we can pick up because we still got a lot of cap space right now available.
Right. I mean, after preseason, there's going to be a lot of releases. I unless like we get two of these guys that like aren't really high on people's radars, like with our depth as it stands, like really standing out in preseason, we may be looking at waiver wire after preseason. But yeah, I'm concerned as well. I mean, look, we know what we have with our starters, and I'm happy there. Trey Tucker is that situational, rotational guy. Although, like from like I addressed before, like the word from camp is he's had a case of the dropsies of late, so that's a little bit of a concern. I'm hoping he can take that sophomore step up this season. But yeah, look, I guess it's time for these guys like DJ Turner or Christian Wilkinson to step up and hopefully elevate themselves in the wide receiver department. Or who's that guy we got was getting a little bit of hype? Leatrick Griffith, Tulu Griffin, whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
something like that. Yeah, I heard.
He's kind of getting a Sincere McCormick type hype this season. So, he's another guy.
Yeah.
There's other guys there. So we really need those depth guys to elevate now that there's two or three spots wide open outside of our starters, and our only for sure depth piece that will make this roster in Trey Tucker. So
yeah, exactly. And I just wanted to tell about it because sorry about for the technical issues, because I know that I have so many problems with the internet and of course with the PC. But I just wanted to talk about for like the another topic that we're talking about it. So salute to everybody else in the chats. So there's Raiders Rebel, Jimenez. Also, we just got Dark in the building. So salute to you. Also, I see you, Don, in the building right now. So I just wanted to talk about for like another topic that I just wanted to talk about for like any could make it like this one. Because I know the impact of the culture. It became so really popular, not only for the state of California, but also in the United States and the whole world. And I'm just very tired about how the media really hate us. Because I know the media like Kansas City Chiefs, all of these stars right now, because I know the impact of the culture. It became so diverse, so incredible during for the history of this organization. And like I said it before, because I have a conversation with some content creators, like more for Raiders Fan Radio, about for the impact culture. If Taylor Swift had just got for the Kansas City Chiefs along with Travis Kelce and Kermit Mahomes, which is because a fan of the Raiders is just brown of Kermit the Frog dressing like the Kansas City Chiefs, and they broke the internet. But for us, for the Raiders, we just have like great fun. We just can be diverse. We just offer equality and, of course, mentality, leadership. Because there are some other teams that is being like a very not disciplined right now, but we just had discipline, mentality, leadership, all of these things. Because we just have a rich culture of history. Because if you remember all of the 80s, the 90s, 2000, along with Sebastian Jaganovic, also we just got Charles Woodson, also who made like a Raiders 2000 defense make it to the top. I mean, they were just like very scared. Also, we can never forget about the original, the OG Jim Otto, Al Davis, I mean, John Madden. I mean, we just saw like a great culture of great trailblazers, athletes, coaches, and persons who became involved for the organization of the Raiders. So I'm gonna say about it. So do not erase the history of the Raiders because they are very important in this world because we're now the worldwide team. Because if you see Dallas Cowboys fans over there, they're just like a bunch of bullshit of bandwagons and they always believe in the America's team, but no. Because the Raider Nation, they're always the one and only. Because like I tell it, there's 31 teams in the history of the NFL, but there's only one nation. The motherfucking Raider Nation, and nobody can stop us because we just have like a great culture about for diversity, history, and of course, leadership mentally. I mean, they can never stop the race to history.
What's Sebastian Janikowski's name again, Rafa?
Sebastian Jagunovich, because I know that I understood about for the last name, but Sebastian Jagunovich 2017. But I know that I understand about for the name, but I was like, oh my god, I was very mispronounced that name, but I understand for another names which became like a lot of trailblazers and athletes. But I just like, wow, I love that.
Janikowski.
Janikowski.
I'll just call him Seabass.
Yes. Yeah, but how you thinking about for the impact and the culture of Afakasi, ONT6? So I just wanted to talk about it. So
Well, I think the culture is good right now in the building, especially after Josh McDaniels left. I think he was the real reason we couldn't win or do anything. It just shocked me once he left the building how different everybody was, happier. Everybody was more loose. You know what I mean? Everybody wasn't on the edge and shit. So at the end of the day, that's the best thing that happened for him to get out of here. So that's the best thing that happened. At the end of the day, I think AP is the right head coach for this team. You know what I mean? He has the right assistant coaches, and at the end of the day, I think he's gonna get the job done. It's just gonna take some time. I understand that he was the head coach last season, but technically this is his rookie year because this is his coaching staff. He's doing stuff he wants to. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm really excited for this season.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I agree with those sentiments. In AP, we trust, or at least the majority of us trust anyway. But we'll see how it shakes out. I mean, like my expectation is this season isn't as high as what other people's are, considering like it's like you said, this is his first year as head coach. So, you know, as long as we don't completely shit the bed and like the team gives us enough hope that we're gonna get to where we want to be in time. Not like the last two seasons when all we were doing was just crashing and burning and regressing. And, you know, it's like you said, on like the team, it just, you could see like the team just didn't seem like they could breathe. Like the players, like they all looked like they were walking around on eggshells all the time. I mean, tell me when you've ever seen a head coach be disposed of and then the very next day you're seeing footage of the players in the locker rooms literally partying, dancing, smiling, laughing. That's never happened. I have never seen that happen. And that just goes to show the amount of despise that he was, you know, McDaniels had with a lot of the players. But you know what? The hell with him. You know, in Antonio Pierce, we trust. And I am happy with the culture that we're building. That is one thing that's definitely very pleasing for me. As far as like the media and what they say about us and that we're always getting hate or whatever it is that you were saying, like, that's nothing new, you know what I mean? And to be honest, I prefer when the Raiders are being overlooked. I don't like these seasons where we're going to the season with high expectations from the media or whatever. Like the last 2 years, you know, especially 2020, you know, 2022, Josh McDaniels' first year, there was high expectations then, we shat the bed. 2017, going back further, we had high expectations then, we shat the bed. You know what I mean? From the media, and I for one prefer it when we're being overlooked. We seem to perform a little bit better those years rather than when expectation levels are high with the media.
Yep, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, not only because I just realized that the history of the organization is very important. Because after we just saw for the whole disaster of Josh McDaniels and Dave Silver, I mean, the hell we're gonna figure it out for the defense and of course for the team because it's been like a long time ago. but I expect a lot of things more for the defense and the offense because I know there's like the areas of you need to improve it right now because there's some areas you can take it about it, but there's some areas you can worry about it. I mean, not only for the quarterback, but also for the wide receiver, the running back, but also for the special teams, defense, also for the tackles. Because right now we seem like everything's gonna be completely fine with the offense and the defense. The only take it about it is the situation for the quarterback. I know there is Aiden O'Connor and there is Gardner Minshew. I know Gardner Minshew has been like at a very backup, but for me, Aiden O'Connor, which you see like at a lot of great things about for the season so far. But I think this should be like really stars right now because everyone they just wanted to start like a Aiden O'Connor should be like the starter. But it's gonna be like a really intense battle for the quarterback during for the training camp. But I know this is something that I was getting involved with at this right now. But Circus ready to say, damn Rafa control. I thought we were in cool. Hey, we're cool right now, Circus Raiders. We're cool. But when I was talking about the
Six.
situation of the quarterback between Aiden O'Connor and Gardner Minshew, I mean, there's like going to be a lot of detectives who's going to be at the first week of the regular season. But I believe between for the speed, the ability of Aiden O'Connor, because during for the first year as a rookie, I mean, he has very like very nervous. But I really think there's gonna be like a some areas they need to improve it, some areas they need to take it about it. But I believe that I wanted to speak that about a lot of things more for Aiden O'Connor. And I know there Gardner Minshew could be like very a good backup, but I want to spend a lot of more of Aiden O'Connor who could be like a starter because if they want to see like at the start of the week number one, so they're gonna be like a between for Gardner Minshew. But I know the expectations is gonna be very high. So many people that you want to see like who's gonna be the starter, Garden or Aiden O'Connor. I mean, there's gonna be like an interrogational sign because for the week one or the regular season. I mean, the quarterback situation is keeps going. But right now we had to take like for one thing who should be like the starter.
Rafa, the key word you were saying was believe, and
Uh-huh.
you might know where I'm going with this. I know
Okay.
you believe in Aiden O'Connell, and you may believe in Gardner Minshew, but do you believe in Joe Hendry?
I do believe.
Oh yeah, I believe that because that song it was so amazing. I mean, what are the comes but every time when you say his name, here comes right now for the rain and say, I believe in Joe Henry. I mean, I believe that. I believe in Joe Hendrick. Bum bum and I was like very catching it and say his name and he appears and I believe in Joe
Say
Hendrick.
his name and he appears.
I believe in Joe Hendrick. There you go.
Sorry,
That
man, I
is
don't know how to put a fun
amazing.
with you. All right, back to the QB situation.
Okay.
Look, I've said it a few times. Like I'm gonna wait till preseason till you know what I mean. Like I don't believe the QB battle has been unanimous. I mean, it leans towards Aiden O'Connell, but like I think preseason is going to tell the full story. I mean, whoever wins in preseason is going to win the starting job, in my personal opinion. So that's my thoughts on
Yep. All right. So
In my,
after the okay, go ahead.
I mean, in my opinion, I think AOC is going to be our quarterback week one, especially after he performed last year. A lot of people don't realize he had to learn a whole new system after Josh McDaniels left. You know what I mean? He was never supposed to see the field. It's supposed to be a redshirt year, and for him to go out there and start and win some games how he did showed me enough to make me believe that he could be the guy. You know what I mean? As much as I like Garner Minshew, you know what I mean? He's been bouncing around the league a lot just because he can't get consistent enough. You know what I mean? I like how he plays, but he's just a little too turnover prone. Especially in this system, I want a quarterback that's more, protect the ball more, and I think that's going to be AOC. So if I had to believe and who am I going to be the new TNA world champion, this is going to be Joe Hendry at the Great American Bash. But until then,
There you
I
go.
believe in AOC.
Yep, there you go. And right now, speaking about for Joe Hendrick, speaking about for wrestling, and I know this week is gonna be very huge at all, which is like the Summer Slam. And I know there's like a lot of things in common about for the wrestling because that should be like a very for the last topic right now. So I know the Summer Slam is gonna be on Cleveland, Ohio. So I will tell you for this one who you got like the biggest moment ever on the Summer Slam because right now this weekend is all about for a Summer Slam. So what moment do you realize in this moment what was your favorite Summer Slam where you grow up where you have like very good like as a kid? So what moment of Summer Slam do you really capture as a kid?
I'll go. I'll answer first because I
Hey,
might need a
Go
thing.
ahead.
He's not as diehard as what we are, Rafa.
yep.
I believe Bret Hart and Bret Hart, British Bulldog, or Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect. I think both those matches
Wow.
were SummerSlam, I believe. I could be mistaken, but those are some of my better memories. The Rock versus Brock Lesnar
Uh,
back in 2002, I believe that was
Ooh, that was a good one.
a good
oh, that
one.
was in 2000. That was in 2002.
Yes, that was just before. I mean, the crowd started to turn on The Rock because he was going to go again to make more movies. And then when he came back, that was the birth of the of Hollywood Rock, the Hollywood Rock character,
I believe.
which is what he was doing when he came. When he that's kind of what half his gimmick was, being the final boss, like with his current incarnation of The Rock. So
All right.
yeah, that's all. That kind of led to the birth of Hollywood Rock, which is one of his best runs back in 2003. As of late, oh god, uh, yeah, last year's SummerSlam, I think that was when I started to get back into wrestling again on a consistent basis.
Oh yeah,
Was that when Kyrie? Was that when Damage Control came back?
that was between for the damage control, but that was like the 2023 when it comes to like the Bloodline Civil War between Roman Reigns and versus Jimmy versus Jey Uso. But yes, that was like the return for damage control.
Right. I think that was 2022. But yeah, I mean, looks SummerSlam. Is that this weekend?
Yeah, it's gonna be this weekend at Cleveland, Ohio, which is on Saturday.
Okay, so that would be Sunday morning for me.
Yeah. All right. So
Yeah,
on to
I gotta admit, like, just real quickly, Raw and SmackDown's been a little boring of late, but wrestling in general has been better. Especially like, I mean, me and Aunt, we've been following a lot more TNA of late. So
oh yeah, exactly. So all right. So on to this, I'll guarantee of what favorite moment of SummerSlam do you got as a kid? Because well, I would love to interested about for your opinion, and I would love to see because I was wondering because if the next SummerSlam could handle like at the next place, I would love to see it of Ansis. I would love to see Antis Soldier versus Justin on a Hell in a Cell match on SummerSlam. That could be interesting.
No, that was actually my favorite match of all time when I faced Justin in the Hell in a Cell in 2003. One of my greatest career highlights of all time, especially too when I won the title. My buddy Afakasi is right there, ringside with me to hold the title up with me. One of the greatest moments of my life. I have a picture right here, but it's hanging on my wall and I can't get it off. But I mean, one of the greatest moments of my career in life. But that's another story for another day. But in all seriousness, I don't really remember them as a kid because as a kid I remember watching them, but that was so long ago that now I'm just like, what pay per view was this and that? I just remember some of the matches, but number one, no, I don't know. And now I barely just got back into wrestling too, so I don't know nothing that's been happening lately. But at the end of the day, I believe in Joe Hendry.
There you go. There you go. Thank you very much. And I know it's been like at a very while because we just had like a difficult technical difficulties, but we just have like a very fun to talk about for Raiders and a little bit of wrestling. So thank you very much, ONT6 Soldier. Thank you very much, Afakasi Raiders. So where can we find you on the social media to can see your content? Because right now it is time, because right now we're getting close to the preseason, regular season, and where can we see, look at the next episode of Raiders War Order, the RWO.
Well, thanks for having us, Rafa. It's been a pleasure. You'll find us on both of us on my side of the fence on Afakasi Raider. I'll just put in a little comment in the chat feed right there, so you can see that's my channel.
There you go.
You'll find us doing
There you go.
our thing over there. You know, we haven't really been streaming weekly. We've been picking and choosing when we go live, but you know, if you want Raider content and you know, with a little bit of humor and some wrestling as well as some gaming, that's where we do things. Me and my guy ONT6, as well as when we have other guests. We just had a live 3 days ago with Millennial Raider and Cheetah Linus. And,
yeah.
Solo.
And Red Solo, my bad. How can I forget?
Yes, Red Solo.
Yeah.
So,
I
we'll be getting more active when the season unfolds. But just for now, we're kind of picking and choosing when we go live. But I appreciate you having us on. ONT6, I'll leave it to you.
Take it away, ONT6.
No, for sure. You can always find me on my boy Avakasi channel, Avakasi Raider. Also, you can find me on IG at ONT6 Soldier. But thanks for having me on, Cup in the Raphael. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Until the next one, I'm out of here. Thanks for having us on, brother.
Thank you very much. It's been another episode of Straight Outta Nation. So thank you very much. And I just wanted to tell you, salute to everybody else. And of course, have a great night. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. So, thank you very much. So I hope you do is great. And I know there's going to be like a lot of difficult technical issues, but we're definitely good. So have a good one, folks. And thank you very much. Have a great night.